My name is Dan Blankenship. I'm the CEO of RFTA. We've been making, I think, a lot of progress in terms of refining the project. It's advancing really rapidly, and we felt it was a good time to let the public see what we've been up to and get some of your ideas and thoughts about the work that we'll be presenting to you tonight. Before we start the presentation, though, I'd like to give you just a little bit of background about BRT, or Bus Rapid Transit. We've been studying bus rapid transit for the Roaring Fork Valley for about 10 years. We began initially in 2001 looking at BRT as the transit alternative for the Roaring Fork Valley. And we completed the quarter investment study in probably May of 2003, and it selected BRT as the preferred alternative. It compared a BRT service against a region-wide rail service, and the capital cost for the rail service is about $300 million to get it to the airport in Aspen, and BRT was about $100 million. We spent the next 8-9 years or so refining our project and trying to develop a project that would garner some federal support. And in 2008, we finally honed our project down to one that was about $50 million, although we had looked at one in 2007 and early 2008 that might have cost as much as $180 million. However, it had a lot of parking structures and facilities that we really couldn't afford when we looked at our potential revenue streams. So we had to find something that would fit within our resources. And we found, excuse me, a grant program called Very Small Starts, administered by the Federal Transit Administration, that would provide up to $25 million for our project. So with the $25 million that we're hoping that we'll be able to get from the federal government, and $25 million that we have available from bonds that we issued this year, thanks to the approval of voters in 2008, and thanks to the sales tax increase that was also approved by voters in 2008, we're in a position now to get the federal funds as early as 2011 and begin constructing the project. We were successful at the polls in 2008. We also submitted our application to get into this Very Small Starts program, and the federal government gave us approval to enter into what's called the project development phase. And that's what we're in right now, and we have to meet a number of federal requirements, develop a project management plan, get environmental clearances, update our capital costs, refine our operating plan, and those kinds of things. And then we'll submit an application in the summer to get this project construction grant agreement, which is the document that commits the federal funds to the project. So we'll submit that application in the summer. Then hopefully by December, the feds will sign off on that, and then we'll have our money available to begin really constructing the project, ordering buses and IT and those kinds of things. We have been included in President Obama's 2011 budget for $24 million. We also received an appropriation for our project of $810,000 in 2010. So if all of these things line up like we're hoping and planning they will, something that we've been working on now for about 10 years is about to become a reality.
The idea behind Bus Rapid Transit is to combine the cost savings and flexibility of traditional rubber-tired buses with the efficiency, reliability, and cool factor and other positive aspects of rail. And the way we achieve that is to use pretty much traditional rubber-tired buses, and we use those buses in combination with things like queue-jump lanes, transit signal priority, intelligent transportation systems, and other features to allow these buses to achieve some speed and reliability and cool factor that we would see in rail systems and other more advanced transit systems. Back in 2003, the Roaring Fork region conducted a major investment study of the region's current and future transportation issues and looked at some ways of addressing those issues. And bus rapid transit was the preferred alternative to address those transportation concerns, both because of its low relative cost and its effectiveness at achieving its transportation goals. The main thing that makes Velociraptor BRT unique is that this will be the nation's first rural BRT system. Most bus rapid transit systems are constructed in highly urbanized areas, and but this system will be in a very largely rural area.
BRT is currently scheduled to start somewhere late summer, early fall of 2013. The changes with BRT are going to be bringing the service more out to a highway, more like a train system, taking them out of the field trips through each of the cities and bringing them right onto 82. It should decrease the travel time from Glenwood Springs into Aspen by roughly an hour. We intend to have the service down to about an hour or less. Some of the improvements we're going to see are bringing the Algebel station out of the park and ride in Algebel to the highway, potentially opening a new station here at the Willett subdivision for access to the Whole Foods area and potential new development on the other side. And then cleaning up all of the services that we're offering right now. We've been working in conjunction with all of the planners kind of through the jurisdictions, trying to put together something that will fit in, that will give a feel for the entire Roaring Fork Valley. We've gotten to about a 15% conceptual phase with our stations. Some of the improvements at the station will be the stations themselves, as well as the information that we're going to be able to get and provide at each of the stations. In addition, we're going to increase the frequency. The buses will operate every 10 minutes in the peak season, every 15 minutes in the off-peak seasons. And I think you're going to see some really substantial improvements and upgrades to the overall system. As far as the other services, we're evaluating how the services feed into each other, and what we ultimately would like to see is that the services feed in more to the BRT system. So for those people that currently utilize the system in Basalt or use it in Blue Lake and Algebel, we're looking at how we'll integrate the current system into the BRT system. Those services will not go away. Those services will still be there for people. All we want to do is try and make the commute an easier option for people trying to get from Glenwood to Aspen or Aspen back to Glenwood.
As part of the BRT project, we're going to have new shelters and platforms at each of the station locations to really help the public understand where BRT is up and down the valley. And so we've been working with the community to design a structure that reflects the character of the valley. It's been very important in terms of looking at natural materials, stone, wood, colors that fit in with the overall valley. And so as we've gone through the design process, it's really trying to develop a shelter that provides a comfort, easy to understand, that also has a number of amenities for the public. And so we know that these will be multi-purpose stations, so not only will BRT arrive at these stations, but local service, express services, direct services, they'll all share this station as well. So we wanted to make sure that not only do people identify it as a Velociraptor station, but they identify it as a Raptor station as well, so they know that they can get the transit service at any one of these locations. And so taking time to fit those into the landscape, work with the communities about creating a common design character up and down the entire valley is the process we're in to meet everybody's expectations for the overall design character.